What is up, guys? Thanks so much for clicking on this video. This is a slightly different one than normal because it's to mark getting to the 5,000 subscriber milestone on this channel. I want to say a massive thank you to all of you who've been part of this channel, subscribing, commenting, engaging with the videos. It's really motivating for me to see all of that. And to celebrate, we got this guy, this party popper. There you go. Let's get it out the way of the camera. And also, aside from the party popper, I did a little Q&A on Instagram. Ooh, that smells. I did a little Q&A on Instagram, got you guys to send some questions in. I had a look earlier, there's all sorts of crazy stuff there, so let's get started. So Nazli asks, why did you go into law? This one's a bit of an interesting story. I actually did my A-levels thinking I was going to do economics. I applied for economics at University of Nottingham. I actually got in for economics and started the course as well, and I did pretty much almost a year of that course, but I wasn't really feeling it. I thought I'd change it up, and that's the first time I ever even thought about doing law. I had some friends who did law and I spoke to them about it, and then after speaking to them I spoke to the uni and they let me switch. So it's not one of those stories about ever since I was a little kid I wanted to do law and kind of like solve all the injustices in the world. Nothing like that. Went to uni to do economics, didn't like economics. I was thinking, what else could I do? And kind of fell into law, really. So that's the story. Queentage asks, what's your favorite Netflix series or show? If I'm on Netflix, I'm usually just watching something I find funny, and I've just watched it forever. So it's either US Office or Peep Show. If I'm on Disney, I'm watching Modern Family. I just find these shows funny and like comforting to like always be watching the same thing. New stuff I've watched recently, I watched this series called Buying Beverly Hills, which sounds crap, and it is kind of crap, but you get kind of caught up in the characters and the stories and the nice houses. So that's the thing that I've watched most recently. And I would recommend it. It's a bit crap, but like, whatever. If that's what you're expecting and that's what you're gonna get, it's not gonna disappoint. Tom's asked, which Arsenal player would make the best lawyer? All right, so I got to actually talking to a few people about this, but my answer is going to be Bukayo Saka, England star boy, because I heard on commentary once that he did really well on his GCSEs or something, and he's apparently like super smart. So let's say him. Superman is Dead has asked, how do you answer the question, what do you do in your free time? I'm guessing they're talking about like application question, not just generally if this question ever comes up in life. Stuff like that where they ask what you do in your free time, I think what I always try and put myself in the head of grad recruitment or the law firm. What are they actually looking for? And they're looking for a well-written answer like everything, but in a question like that, they're looking to get a window into what you do and what you like doing and kind of make you into a bit more of just a regular human being. So I wouldn't like think to be too strategic with it and say that in my free time I like reading commercial awareness updates, because like that's not true for sure. Like no one likes doing that for fun. So I just tell them the truth. Obviously, if it's a written answer, the writing has to be clear and like you have to be writing concisely and well. But if you like birdwatching, say birdwatching. If you like photography, say photography. Simranjeet Kaur Man, the GOAT, she said, what's your proudest achievement? I think like professionally, doing the New York bar is my proudest achievement. It's something that I found it really tough. I know it's hard. You have to do it in New York. They did it remotely during COVID. I don't know if it's still remote, but when I did it, we had to go to New York and do it, which is tough because you're not actually in New York. New York's a big place. I was in a place called Buffalo, which is upstate New York. It's like very close to Canada. So it was kind of a weird situation to be in. It's cold and I was on my own doing an exam in a foreign country, which was hard anyway, but the exam itself was pretty tough, 2 long days, and I managed to pass, which I'm pretty proud of. So that is my proudest achievement. I would do something not law related because obviously I have a life outside of law, but that's the honest answer, I think. Superman is Dead has asked, do they give importance to work experience from outside the UK when it's in a different legal system? I think, yeah, if you're doing a standard application form, any work experience is useful, even if it's a different legal system, even if it's not legal work experience. You can talk about transferable skills. When I was doing applications, I thought people were just saying that oh yeah, talk about anything, talk about any jobs. But honestly, from being on the inside, it's so true. There's so much you can pick up in any other job that will be relevant to your career in law. At the end of the day, as a junior lawyer, a lot of what you're doing is not technical, clever stuff. It's just about being diligent, organized, keeping track of information, not missing deadlines. So anything you can show that demonstrates that, even if it's a society position at uni, it's going to be useful. So yeah, like, don't worry about it being a different legal system. All good. Curtis has asked, rate Lionel Hutz from 1 to 10. So Lionel Hutz, I think, is the guy from Simpsons. Lionel Hutz is, according to Google, a stereotypical, shady ambulance-chasing lawyer in Springfield with questionable competence and ethics. So I think I remember him being quite funny, but this guy's definitely not a good lawyer. He's doing all the things you're not meant to do, chasing ambulances and kind of like soliciting work. So he'd probably have some disciplinaries against him. I'll give him a 3 out of 10. Sour Candy Girl has asked, does pineapple belong on a pizza? Not for me. Like, I'm gonna get pepperoni probably. If I'm feeling crazy, I'll get like the Texas barbecue from Domino's, but that's it. For me, no pineapple, but do whatever you want. I'm not gonna judge. Diva U has asked, what's the greatest piece of advice you would give your former trainee self? So I'm qualified now. Guess what the question is asking is to the trainees, what would I ask? Be comfortable asking questions. As a trainee, no one expects you to know anything. As a junior, where I am, also, like, I can ask questions. No one expects me to know loads of stuff. And this is a privileged position. Don't try and act like you know stuff. I had a time where someone asked me if I knew what a warranty was when I was doing a internship, a vac scheme in corporate, and I kind of knew what a warranty was. Like, I'd heard the word and I said yes. And then when I started discussing it, it turned out like it was obvious I didn't really know exactly what I was talking about. Don't try and say yes to impress people. In fact, what's more impressive is if you say no, what is it? And then you learn what it is. And that curiosity is what makes you ultimately a good lawyer at that early stage. Be curious, ask questions, because it's a privileged position now for the next 3-4 years of your career where you can ask loads of silly questions and there's like no one will expect you to know the answers. Once you get a bit more senior, I guess, I'm not there, I guess you will be expected to know more stuff. So take advantage of this period of time. Farhan asks, what kept you going through all the vac scheme and TC rejections? So yeah, as I said, I did 4 years, and all 4 years, or I think in the 4th year, I got my vac schemes. First 3 years were just straight up rejections, like 20 rejections each year. What kept me going? Kind of like, I'm interested in the job, of course. Also, it's kind of the only possible career that I thought was available to someone coming out of law, and wanted to go into commercial law because of that, which I think is kind of problematic. There's loads of careers available to people who graduate from law, and you don't just have to go into a commercial law firm. But at the time, that's kind of all I knew because of uni and the Law Society, and these were the sorts of firms that were at my uni. So that's what I was thinking about it. That 4th year where I did my applications, I decided that would be the last year I apply before going on and applying for just different jobs. So what kept me going? Kind of naivety about other job roles, an interest in commercial law because I'd heard the people speak at the firm, so I had a genuine interest. I didn't really know anything else, and those are the main reasons. And just by the end, my patience had worn quite thin because I was ready to call it a day, and that's luckily when I got my vaccines. So yeah, that's the answer. So I think that brings us to the end of all the questions. I've really enjoyed going through them, and thanks to everyone for sending them in. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. It's been a bit different to what I usually do. I usually like script every word and want to make sure I know exactly what I'm talking about. So this time I've just been going off the cuff, looking at the questions. So if you enjoyed this style, let me know. But otherwise, I want to say a massive thank you again for engaging with the videos, commenting, liking, subscribing, because it's a huge motivator for me. And really, really pushes me to keep going with this. And I love doing it. I've slipped up recently with the posts, but this video and this milestone is hopefully a step in the right direction. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.